caught me just practicing my guitar, which I'm not very good at. Today we're going to talk about the solar system. It's where we live. And to start off with that, the sun. It's in the middle. And over 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun. The sun is almost a perfect sphere, and that means round, completely round. But it's almost completely round, perfectly almost completely round. And the sun travels at 220 kilometers per second through space, inside the Milky Way, which is our galaxy. It's very big. And the sun itself is over 406 billion years old. And that is older than all of our grandmas combined. Hey, almost didn't see you there again. You caught me practicing my ukulele, which I'm also not very good at. Up next, after the sun, it's Mercury. Mercury's the first planet. It's the smallest planet. But later when we get to Pluto, Pluto is smaller. But Pluto is not a planet, which we'll talk about later. Mercury doesn't have any moons or rings like some of the other planets do. No moons, it's very small, it's very fast. Your weight on Mercury would be about a third of what it would be here on Earth. Actually 38%. A day on Mercury lasts 176 Earth days. So that's a little less than half a year. A little less than half a year on Earth. Would be a whole year on Mercury. A year on Mercury is actually 88 Earth days. So very, very, very short. It moves very fast, it's very hot. You wouldn't want to live there, but you would weigh a lot. So that's something. Hey. Up next is Venus, the second planet from the sun. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Venus is a rocky and terrestrial planet. Terrestrial means rocks. It's made of rocks. Venus has a very thick atmosphere, meaning that it's very dense with gases. And it traps heat. Venus is very hot. Venus is also covered in volcanoes. And Venus is the brightest thing in the sky at night next to the moon, because the moon's very, very close, and you don't see the sun at night. Venus spins in the opposite direction of Earth and most other planets, which is kind of weird.
Hi, I'm Grandpa. Like I said, I've taken upon myself to take a second of your time. That fell. To read you a poem about the second planet in the solar system, Venus. This poem is called Venus. Decide tonight to take a lesson from Venus. She shines brighter than any planet, a morning and evening star in our endless sky. She hasn't a single moon to worship her, to cloud her judgment. She is alone, and oh, how brilliantly she shines. That was a poem named Venus by Nikita Gill. She's about your age. Thank you.
Now next is the third planet from the sun, which is, not just in my opinion, the most important planet. And that's Earth. That's where we live. And also, that's where everyone we know, all life, our parents, our family, our friends, Justin Bieber, everything lives here. It's where we keep all of our stuff. Now, Earth is also special because it's an ocean planet. It covers 70% of the Earth's surface. Earth's atmosphere is made of mostly nitrogen, has plenty of oxygen for us to breathe, which is really important for life, which we are. You know, us and turtles and frogs and our dogs and cats. The atmosphere protects us from incoming meteoroids and meteorites, which are rocks that fall from space. Most of which, because of our atmosphere, break up before they hit the surface. So it's not that big a difference. That's not big a deal for us to get hit by a rock from space. Not since the dinosaurs, which was 65 million years ago. So we'll never see one of those. Earth's rotation, which it does around the sun, is slowing down, which won't make a difference for any of us for a very, very, very long time. Like your grandchildren, grandchildren's 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 grandchildren won't even notice the difference. We only have one moon, and funny enough, it's called the moon. Other planets that have moons have special names, usually named after Greek gods or Roman gods or some weird combination of letters and numbers. And it's the only planet in the solar system that's actually not named after a god of any kind. It's just Earth. Because I guess they weren't very creative when they named it. But it's a great place. We would not be able to do anything without Earth. It's a pretty cool place.
Hey, it's me, Grandpa again. This time I've got a poem for you about Earth. It's entitled Our Earth. Couldn't find who wrote it. Guess it's not important anyway. The Earth is ours to enjoy for every little girl and boy. But we must always be aware that all its beauty we must share with all the children yet to come, who want to laugh and play and run around the trees and in the fields. So we must keep our planet free from messy trash and debris, with air that's clean, fresh and clear for all to breathe from year to year. We must never abuse our sweet Earth that's ours to use. Thank you.
Up next is Mars, the fourth planet from the sun. Mars and Earth are about the same size, give or take a little bit. But there's no water. There's ice, but no water. So all that land mass is, if we could ever move there, we could use it for living. Mars is home to the tallest mountain in the solar system. And it's called Olympus Mons, or Mount Olympus, named after the mountain that all the Greek gods lived on. We have flown 18 successful missions with spacecraft to Mars. Not with people, just with little robots. So, fun fact, Mars is the only planet in the solar system that is populated with all robots. So only robots live on Mars. A lot of them are garbage now. It happens. Batteries run out. Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. So it's not a good place. It's not a good neighborhood to live in. And on Mars, the sun appears to be about half the size as it does on Earth. So it's quite a bit further away, and it's colder. And they call it, its nickname is the Red Planet, because, you guessed it, it is red.
A poem about Mars. This is entitled Mars Poetica by Win Cooper. Imagine you're on Mars, looking at Earth. A swirl of colors in the distance. Tell us what you miss the most, or the least. Let your feelings rise to the surface. Skim that surface with a tiny net. A tiny net. Now you're getting the hang of it. Tell us your story, slantwise, streetwise, in the disguise of an astronaut in his suit. Tell us something we didn't know before, how words mean things we didn't know we know. Thank you.
Hey again. Up next is the 5th planet from the Sun. That planet is named Jupiter. Jupiter, sorry, a little wobbly. Jupiter has the shortest day of all the planets. It turns on its axis every 9 hours and 55 minutes. That's a very short day compared to our 24 hours. The rapid rotation flattens the planet, so because it spins so fast, it's not round. It's just not round. And it's also made up of entirely gas, much like Saturn, which we're about to talk about. And fun thing about Jupiter is it rains diamonds. So your umbrella's not going to work. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Jupiter orbits the Sun once every 11.8 Earth years. From our point of view on Earth, it appears to move slowly in the sky, taking months to move around one constellation to another. So if you see it, if it passes a star, it goes really, really, really slow. And on Jupiter, there's a storm that has been raging for 350 years. And they call it the Great Red Spot. And if you look at a picture of Jupiter, there's a big red spot. And that storm has been going for, between, that we know of, 350 to 400 years. And it's so big that 3 Earths could fit inside just that storm. And it's Jupiter. It's pretty neat and weird. Up next is Saturn. Saturn, you would recognize it pretty much anywhere because it's surrounded by very large rings. And they're made of ice and debris, so like dust, basically dust and ice. Saturn is the least dense planet in the solar system. It's also made of entirely gas. So because it's made of gas, if you dropped it in water, it would float. That would be a lot of water and the bill would be crazy. But there you go. On Saturn, much like Jupiter, it also rains diamonds. So again, no surface, rains diamonds. You couldn't live there. And it's also very, very cold. The further you get out from the sun, the colder it gets. So Mercury, very hot. Venus, hot. Earth, perfect for us. Mars, colder. And it's just colder and colder and colder. And that's Saturn. Did I mention the 62 moons? It's got 62 moons. You want me to take this one? Okay. All right. After Saturn, I guess you couldn't stop giggling for this one. How am I gonna do it? Huh? Just do it. Okay, all right. The next planet, it's called Uranus. It has a thick atmosphere made of methane, which is the primary gas in farts, hydrogen and helium. Uranus is the only planet that spins on its side, which is like this. Uranus spins in the opposite direction as Earth, and most of the planets. Why'd you make me do this? Oh, and it's an ice planet. Up next, almost the last planet. This is the 8th planet. This is Neptune. It's the most distant planet from the sun. Neptune is the smallest gas giant. Like Saturn and Jupiter, there's no surface. It's all gas. And Neptune is named after the Roman god of the sea. And it's also blue, hence the name, blue, the sea. And it is the coldest planet in the solar system. When I was growing up, there was one more planet named Pluto, which is a very sad story, which we are about to get to. So like I said, the story of Pluto is a sad story. Back in 1930, when Pluto was discovered, they named it a planet. Pluto is named after the Roman god of the underworld, which is where you go when you pass away. And a handful of years later, in 2006, it was reclassified as a dwarf planet, which is not a true planet. It's kind of between a planet and a moon. It was discovered on February 18th, 1930, like I said, at the Lowell Observatory. What we know of, Pluto has 5 known moons. And we also know that Pluto is about 1/3 water, which, that far away, it's actually 1/3 ice. I grew up with Pluto as a planet. And in 2006, I was 25. So 25 years of my life, Pluto was a planet. And then they knocked him down and he wasn't a planet anymore. So I'll share you a poem
about Pluto. It's a poem titled Pluto by Maggie Dietz. Don't feel small. We all have been demoted. Go on being. Moon or rock or orb, buoyant or distant, smallest craft ball at Van den Hoven's hardware, spray-painted purple or dayglow, orange for a child's elliptical vision of fish line, cardboard, and foam. No spacecraft has touched you. No flesh met the luster of your heavenly body, little cold one. Blow your horn, no matter what you are. Planet or something other than planet, ancient but not classical. The controversy over what you call light hours from your years. On Earth, we tend to nurture the diminutive and root for the diminished. None of your neighbors know your name. Nothing has changed. If Charon's not your moon, who cares? She remains unmoved, your companion. That was nice. Even if you're small, just like Pluto, you matter. Thank you.